Hi everybody, my name is Janine, my pronouns are she, they, and I am coming to you from the lands of the unceded territory of the Awabakal people here in Mullumbimba, which is Newcastle, Australia. Welcome back. It has been about a year or so, give or take, since I recorded a last video. A lot has happened, and at the end of the day it all comes back to timing, and I really object to using the word busy because I am very much over that concept, and yes, it's relevant, but also it's time to slow things down. So that's where I'm at. Stitching is part of that process that requires patience, and I'm so focused this year and hopefully future on slowing down. So it's good to be back. I can't wait to show you the whip parade, the work in progress that I have to show you today. I have a lot of old favorites that likely haven't been touched since my whip parade 2 years ago. Let's be honest, mainly because I haven't really had any sort of inkling to work on them. I likely won't. Maybe we'll see what the year brings. Some of them I have chosen not to include in the video because I might be unfinishing them, like UFOing them, so they're an unfinished object. And I think what I might actually do is just put them aside, let them collect dust, and see how I feel. So no pressure on myself. I'm just really drawn to focusing on a lot of different sort of things at the moment. So you'll see that as we go and progress this video. So it's really good to be back. I've been loving seeing everybody's videos and tastes and editing styles. It's been really fun, and I really am excited to be back. So what I'm going to show you is just whips. I'm not going to show you any past projects in terms of finishes, nor am I going to show any updates from my actual last episode of Floss Tube and progress that I've made to today. So I'm just going to start fresh. Today's January 20, I believe. It's a day off. I actually don't work on Tuesdays, which is fabulous. So it's given me the time to be able to actually stitch heaps and record this video. I digress. So I guess I'm gonna just jump straight into it. I've written down some of them, patterns from what I can remember, but if I get anything wrong, likely would, I will edit it and post the correct dimensions and name / fabric, etc. And yeah, let's just go into it. So the most recent thing I've been working on is a pattern I bought 2 years ago at one of the Nashville needlework markets. I was drawn to it mainly for the tree, not necessarily anything else. My dream one day is to have a backyard with a willow tree. So the pattern is called The Dance. This is what it looks like completed, and what I have done so far is this. So I've stitched mainly call for, except for the tree itself and the branches, and the reason is I didn't have the cord 4 in stock, and when I tried to go to a local needlework store 2 hours from me in Sydney, they didn't have it either. And interestingly, the online needlework store that I got stuff off also didn't have it. So I thought, I can't really progress with this pattern without counting 500 times before I actually stitch, to save me unpicking everything. So I just saw what I had in stash, and yeah, just decided to pick a darker sort of thread. So the pattern is the dance, and the fabric itself is a Fabric of the Month club I used to be a part of, by Paddock Lane Designs, and it's called Cloudy Moon. It's actually really cute and really like purpley. I don't know if you'll be able to sort of see. Actually, that's probably quite true to colour. So that's been awesome. So that's what that one is at. I've kind of just been stitching on that pretty much since I started it, and then I'll see how I feel. Once I'm over it, I'll switch, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Next pattern is something that you saw 2 years ago if you are still here. I haven't stitched on it at all since 2 years ago, since I showed yous. And this is one I'm not sure if I wanted to continue, but we'll see. So this is the Still Life with Mushrooms by Luca S. It's a kit. Anchor thread is what was provided, and I'm not a big fan of it to stitch with, to be honest. Fabric is called Parchment, and also by Paddock Lane Designs. Now for this, I can't remember the count, but it's either 28 or 32. They're sort of my real two go-to fabric counts. So, yeah. Next one is an oldie. I actually don't even think I put this in my last floss tube whip parade. This is by Hello from Liz Matthews, and it is called After the Rain. I don't remember what palette this is. I can't even tell you what fabric I used. But again, 28, 32 count. It's very sort of, yeah, like earthy colors. I love this pattern. This is a smaller version of the actual original pattern, but I feel like I could redo this with more brighter colors, or I don't know, flags of the LGBT community. I don't know, something like that. That would be a bit more personal. So that's one idea that I have, which is really cool. All right, the next is called Japanese Octagon by Chatelaine. I don't think I've touched this either since my whip parade 2 years ago, and that's where we're at still. It's on a fabric by Number 12 Stitch Co, and I believe it's called French Pear, which is amazing. In terms of the threads, this is the first time I ever used NPI, the needle point ink threads, which is so soft, so buttery. And then I just used the DMC for that. So would love to continue working on it, but I just haven't been called to it recently, or in 2 years. So at all, maybe. All right. The next pattern is a oldie also, but a goldie, and on the same fabric as the last one. This is called Autumn Town by Autumn Lane Stitchery, which if either or any of you, follow my Instagram, a lot of my pinned, like big sort of ladies or women are from them. So this is Autumn Town. Again, don't think I've touched this at all pretty much since 2 years ago. So mainly I feel like it's because I was not drawn to full coverage back then. I'm sort of feeling like I'm changing a little bit in terms of my taste when it comes to that, and you'll see. All right, next is Summer in Stardew Valley, I think it's called. This is where the full coverage has started. So this is all DMC. I have actually had a lot of fun learning how to do full coverage. It's not something I've ever really done in my, 8 years of stitching, 10 years of stitching. It's been kind of interesting really just going through all the different sort of what do they call it? Cross country, just like the different colors that are sort of situated everywhere, and carrying the thread and everything. So I don't know, I love a messy back. This has been really fun. Also one of the sort of first times I used a nerd hoop too, which is really cool. And the reason I started the summer one is because it's summer at the moment in Australia. So I thought, well, if I do decide to do all 4 seasons, I might as well try and collate them or correlate them with the current season. So that's Stardew Valley. I think the artist, the designer is Fancy Flossy Fox. I'll put it on because I can't recall off the top of my head. That's that one. Okay. Now, I've never been one for modern folk embroidery until I feel like it's like a rite of passage. The longer you are in the stitching world, the more your tastes are sort of grown into liking samplers and liking that sort of style. It's so interesting. If I could reflect back on when I first started, I was just all about pop culture and nerdy things and just, yeah. And now as a 30-year-old, it's very much, oh, I like the timeless things, the things that, yeah, timeless, endless, lifeless. I don't know, not lifeless. That's probably not the right word. But so, yeah, that's where my sort of fall down the rabbit hole comes from modern folk embroidery. The first pattern I got from them was the Traveller, and as soon as I saw it, was blown away. The femininity and the masculinity of each of the individual panels on this entire pattern, and it's huge. And I have not made anywhere near the progress I wanted to because I fell down a new start rabbit hole where I kind of started a few new things. So anyway, this is the Traveller. I've had this sort of idea to break it down section by section. So I started in the first top left. I'm usually a top left starter. And this is where I'm at here on the Traveller. So I've counted correctly and got the full box. The fabric is tiny. It's like 46 count linen. And my eyes aren't very, very happy with me for doing it. So that's probably another reason why I haven't been as consistent on this. I did work on it very briefly at the end of last year, just to, like, I had done the box and then I started the sort of this part here. But yeah, it's amazing. It is, I bought an entire hank. It was so expensive, but a entire hank of dinky dyes, terracotta, and thought this is the perfect sort of, I wanted to keep it the red, which was what the dye looked like. It was that darkish sort of red. There's not too much variegation in it, and yeah, so obsessed. I would love to continue working on this, and I might just chip away at it, but I'm also doing the 2026 Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along, so that's probably where the time will go, working on that instead of this. So that project is, I actually don't remember what it was called. Something to do with fairy tales or folk something. Anyway, I bought the pattern when it was released and immediately started stitching it rather than waiting till January, and completely smashed out that first block by, I think even mid-December, to be real, to be honest. So I'll put the name of this on in the edit, but this is where I'm up to now. So I did this entire first panel for January and I've started February now. This again is another sort of small count of fabric. This is False Starter by number 12 Stitch Co fabric, and I believe it's 46 count as well. Or maybe, yeah, I think it is. I'm stitching only with one thread. I should have noted that as well. And it's the, 46. And it's the same color thread as the last one that I showed you. So I'm determined to keep this up to date. And now that I'm finished my studies, I actually have the time. So I'm, quite determined to start this. Part of me wants to keep up to date, like before the month is up. Like I probably could monogamously work on this by the time February hits and be done. But we'll see, because at the moment I'm enjoying working on that first project that I showed you. So that's this one. It'll be quite huge when it's done. And again, this is one of those timeless pieces that I think would just, if I move into a cottage one day with a willow tree in the backyard, I just feel like it would just fit quite beautifully on the wall when I eventually get it framed, because that's not something I'm good at either. All right. I tell you what, working through and unpacking all of these whips really was not confronting, because, I abhor getting stressed over things like this because there's other things going on in the world. But I have a lot more work in progresses than I originally thought. Here I am thinking, I just keep about 10. I don't go over that. Well, I actually do. So I feel like I'm about halfway. All right, the next pattern is one I honestly kept on looking for on eBay, and I had all of those code words and keywords saved until someone posted about it, and then I immediately snatched this pattern up, and I had never ever seen anything like it until Wolfie Stitches posted about it on, I believe her Instagram and then on her floss tube, and was immediately like, I need to buy this pattern. I saved up for it and found it, which is amazing. So it's as a kit, but I'm not using any of the kit stuff. I just got the pattern, and I'm using her Wolfie Stitches, Lindsay's conversion of DMC for it. So this is the pattern itself in its little kit. So it's by Cewec, or Cewec. It's called Trolls. And look at that. Like, who doesn't want to go live in the forest and just spend time having a yarn around a campfire? So this is where I got up to, and I believe I haven't done anything on it since. Fabric is also by Paddock Lane Designs. It was a fabric of the month, and I cannot remember what it's called. But yeah, it's just incredible. And I've really just, how cool would this be to be finished? And I don't even know, like, I looked for months to get that pattern, and I just started it and then I haven't continued. So it's interesting what can really influence and take your attention. The needle minder is from a Daisy Chain Stitches retreat, which is here in the sort of Newcastle Hunter Valley area up in Pacolbin. So that was from 2 years ago, 2024. And I believe Ginger Stitch AU collaborated on that, which was so fun. All right, next I have got my notes down here. Beachcomber by Lindsay Stitches. So kind of the complete opposite to the forest. I've got a beach sort of pattern, and I believe this was a Nashville release or an online needlework market release many moons ago. I believe this is what I'm up to. So, it's a bit folded over. There we go. So, this is 40 count fabric. I'm stitching it with only one thread, and I honestly did all this in a sort of chunk of time. I like monogamously stitch till I get sick of it, and then we'll monogamously stitch on something else. I'm not the type to kind of pick and choose and change depending on the day, because I get all my setup, and yeah, I get all the threads out, everything that I need, and rather than having to pick and choose and pack it away and I just would rather work on it until I'm sort of not wanting to anymore. So this is, Beachcomber. What sold me on this pattern actually was the quote that will go here. Can't tell you right now, but it's really, really cool. And the fabric is also a number 12 Stitch Co fabric, 40 count, and I can't recall what color it is, but I will look through my Etsy purchase history and tell you. Yeah, beachcomber. Okay, next one is just a pattern. I kind of went through a stage last year where I liked to stitch themed patterns on TV shows I was watching or movies that I was watching. And this one was from Veronica Mars. If anyone's ever watched Veronica Mars, I like to sort of rewatch some of the old, that and Buffy are kind of like great shows for me to toe in and out of. And actually, I don't even know if it was last year. Maybe it was the year before. But this is just a little pattern that's sometimes I'm even persnicketier. And if anyone knows, yeah, Veronica Mars, it's a really fun one. And that was my first time. I don't know why I did this to myself. I stitched this with one thread of color. It was a silk. It was a not Carriage House. Anyway, I'll figure it out, but it's 1/1, so it's teeny tiny, and it's on 28 count. And I think that's part of the reason why I stopped stitching on it. I'll just make sure you can see it. Is because I was going cross-eyed and just trying to get it done. So we'll say sometimes I'm even persnicketier, I believe. And yeah, fabric is from another fabric of the month from Paddock Lane Designs. But yeah, I just was my Veronica Mars era and thought I wanted to stitch something, and I feel like sometimes I'm even persnickety. So it's just a great, I don't know, attest to the show, but also maybe to my personality. But yeah, that was it. And the designer I'll also, as you'll see, put in. Okay, next I might just go to another TV show. I think I talked about this, one of my videos, maybe not. When I'm always late to the party, I don't know what it is, but I really object to watching shows that are super popular right now. Like, I've not seen The Heated Rivalry, I've not seen, whatever's everyone else is watching, and I don't know if it's just because I want to not be influenced. I don't know, it's weird. But I was super late to the party to watch What We Do in the Shadows. Like, I'm talking the last season just started to be released and I found it. And as soon as I watched that show, my God, I think I watched it 5 times in a row, just was like recycling through it. And I was cackling every single time. So in true fashion, because I wanted to stitch something that was relevant to the TV show, I started stitching the Tuscan Cardinal, What We Do in the Shadows. So this is where I'm up to. I had run out of a couple of colors, which is what put this in the timeout. But yeah. So if anyone hasn't seen it, and you love something that's bubbly, light, funny, political, So this is by Tuscan Cardinal. I think it's called What We Do in the Shadows, or it might be called You're Out of This World or something like that. But so it's stitched 2/2 with 32 count linen. It's hand dyed by number 12 Stitch Co, and the fabric is called Decrepit. And I said this in a video a while ago, I would buy an entire bolt of this color, and it still sings true now. I don't know what it is about it, but there are so many patterns that just make sense that would fit on this color fabric. So Nicola, no pressure. But yeah, couple left. I have, this pattern is so fun. So everyone is really on a Jet stitch train right now, and I do not blame them. I'm yet to catch the train. We'll go with it. I'm yet to catch the train or get bitten by the bug. But I did stitch one of her patterns that were free, which was the Witch's Road, when Agatha All Along came out. Again, stitching on something relevant to the TV show that I'm watching. And this is, I'm so close to a finish. And honestly, the thing that has prevented me from finishing it is I cannot find any beads in Australia that is even remotely close to the ones that she used. I was even happy to buy from overseas and have them shipped for exactly that, but I couldn't find anyone who was importing. So maybe I'm gonna have to look at overseas bead importers, but I don't know, they'll probably get stopped at customs because they'll think it's something shouldn't be. Anyway, this is the Witch's Road by Jet X Stitch. Now this is a huge piece of fabric. I haven't cut it at all, even though this piece is quite tiny. Everything is stitched to call for, actually I don't think it is. I think I did all DMC conversions. But yeah, so a lot of what's missing is beads. Maybe a couple of little loops around here, as you can see there, but I'm so close. I just got like frustrated that I couldn't find anything close. And I bought a few beads online and they just never fit. It never made sense. So I just gave up. This is on a 28 count fabric that was dyed by Color Cascade and it's called Forest, and it was a 2020 fabric of the month. So nice to finally see that your fabric and stash does eventually get used, just 6 years late. Or this was 5 years, but yeah, incredible. Like yeah. And since I've seen all her other patterns come out, I've been loving them. But I just don't have a lot of fabric that's like this. I have a lot of neutrals. And I feel like a Jet X Stitch pattern deserves to be on tone or on brand with like a bright color. So maybe potentially one day I'll, delve down that pathway because they are just so fun. And I would argue even timeless as well. Like, yeah. Okay, a couple more left. I have, I might go this one. So I participated in the Manning May sale when it first started from Megan, the Seattle Stitcher, and I believe a group of American floss tubers. I think Cam, the Stitcher, was part of it. Maybe Bridget, the museum Stitcher, was part of it. Marjorie's also included in that. Marjorie made. But I don't know if this was something, I can't remember, it's been a few years, but I've been slowly chipping away at my Manning May and have gotten, and I don't know, the more I stitch on this and the further away you look on it, the better it, I don't know. There's just something about looking at this pattern, these Carolyn Manning's patterns from a distance that are just so enticing. So mine is the Morrigan and I'm over 40%. Can't tell you off the top of my head because I don't track as I used to. As you can see, I didn't write down any info, but yeah, like the further away it gets, the better it looks. And I can't wait to have this finished. So yeah, that part here is the halfway point down here. And it's just incredible. The colors and yeah. This is on a 28 count, just plain white. I think it's a Lugana. Yeah. But look at that. Oh, just amazing. I did have it on my Whip Go board this year. I always try to do Whip Go and it just never sticks for me. I think it's because I don't know, I like picking what I want to work on based on my intuition and my own sort of internal desire rather than on chance, because I might like roll the thing. And I guess it makes sense for those who have decision fatigue and that ability to not make a decision. But often I'll just lean on my partner to do that. Hey, what should I do? What color should I do next? Great, thank you. Amazing. So maybe one day Whip Go will work. Who knows? Okay, 3 left. The next one is Away We Ride, which is so popular right now since it's been re-released, which, as I mentioned before, I don't like things that are popular right now, so it's probably why I haven't worked on this. I did set it as a 2026 goal though. So this is Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. Everything is stitched called for except the fabric is Tornado by Fox and Rabbit. It's 40 count. I'm stitching with 1 thread. Oh, it's a bit dusty. This is where she's at the moment. So I pretty much reached the end of the pattern. So I'm actually going to have quite a fair chunk of fabric left, which is cool because look at that. How incredible is that color? it's on my, 2026 goals to finish it this year. So I've got 11 months if I want to hit that goal. If I don't make it, whatever, that's fine. It's just going to stay in a box, in a bag or dustproof, whatever, for 2 years or next year when I pull it out for a whip parade again. So that's the way we ride. Another timeless piece. Fabric, maybe not so much, but anyway. The second last pattern I've got, I pulled from a cross stitch magazine, and I've never been one into sort of stitching animals into woolfy stitches. After seeing Lindsay posting all the time, just very nature based or natural, just fauna or flora, I don't know, it's just been a really inspirational sort of thing. So even though she was off Instagram at the time that I picked this up, I kind of had her in mind, thinking, oh, this is really cute, maybe she'd like this too. So this is a sleeping bear. I don't actually think that's what the pattern's called. And it was in, Just Cross Stitch magazine that I just got from our online library app that I use. And it's funny because I'm stitching it, it's winter, we don't get snow where I live, never seen snow, and it's summer at the moment. So I just thought maybe that's my way of trying to keep myself cool. So it's all stitched with DMC. It is on likely a Patty Glean Designs fabric on 28 count. And I stitched pretty much all this in one chunk of time. And then I was like, what's next? So it'll get finished. But it's just really fun, really cute, and probably would just be a little pillow or something, maybe when I eventually start to fully finish FFO my pieces. All right, the last pattern is one of the second things I've ever made on plastic canvas, and it was part of the, there was like a bookmark book that was provided to you with like many designers who participated in it, and you just had to donate money to a certain organization. And so you donated a certain amount, they would send you this book of patterns. And so this is a bookmark, and I'm so stoked with how far I got. And I am so impatient when it comes to the shape of things. So I've already cut it to shape, and I'm just now filling in the rest of it. So this is a cicada. It's actually huge. It's by Boomerang Stitches. And could not possibly wait to cut everything out. And I can't wait to use it as a bookmark. It's such a good idea. And it's beautiful. And I sort of love bugs. Like I've got my little centipede and my Death Watch beetles there, so very on brand. But yeah, it was just so cool. And this is all just DMC stitched. I think this is 16 or 14 count plastic canvas, and it's 2/1. That's it. All right, so they are the whips I'm currently, that I guess not really in my rotation, but they could be. Thanks for tuning in. Just a quick 30-minute video today. I really hope to be back and see how I go. I'm giving a shout out to my friend Isla, who encouraged me to do this. And yeah, I look forward to continuing working on so many of these beautiful patterns this year. There's been so many awesome designers coming out. I don't necessarily have 2026 plans because I don't know what I want to work on. I think the main thing is just keeping up with that Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along. Maybe the new Lola Crow, because I did finish the birds, Avery, what is it? Yeah, the Avery Extraordinary Birds last year. And that was so fun. It's easy when you've kept up with it for me. Everyone's different, but oh my God, it was so much fun. So maybe I'll start that, who knows. But there, thanks for tuning in. Please feel free to, leave any feedback. And I look forward to catching up with you in a couple of weeks, maybe a month, maybe longer, who knows. Hopefully not 11 months, 12 months. Happy New Year to everybody. For those who celebrate the holidays, same. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. See ya.